Vonnie C, another trucker. Shout out to all the subscribers, man. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Welcome to the channel. My first property that I bought through trucking. I've touched on this before, and from time to time I get questions, about certain things about getting a property. So I'll just cover that as best I could right now. So yeah, really this duplex, purchased a duplex in 2020 in February, like right before COVID. And actually this duplex was something me and one of my closest partners that we teamed up on. He brought the idea to me. I really wasn't with it at first, but after a while I changed my mind and said, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Now, he wanted to get a property, but he already got a mortgage. And then with his income, trying to qualify for another mortgage, you know what I'm saying? He didn't qualify. I think it's for a conventional loan. He didn't qualify. And I don't think he was able to get an FHA loan. So he couldn't qualify. So basically he had to go through me. So everything, all the paperwork, everything went through me. So technically, everything is in my name with this property that we went on ahead and we got. But after everything was established, I made sure that his name is on the deed. This is somebody that I trust. He trusts me. Would I recommend you do it this way? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But let me break it down. So my credit was like a 680, 690 when we qualified for this, or when I qualified for this property. I really didn't want to, even when I agreed to do it, when we was going through the process, all the paperwork, all the back and forth, the emails and all this shit, man, I was hoping that this shit didn't go through because it was just seeming like it was just too complicated. So I was hoping that this shit didn't go through, but the more I was hoping it didn't go through, the more I was qualifying, the more green lights was coming through. So make a long story short, my credit score was at 680, 690 at the time. We went through FHA, put down 3.5%. We caught this at a good interest rate right before COVID came and messed up everything. Interest rate, we locked in at 3.75%. Yeah, and all the costs, the down payment, everything that went along with acquiring the property, man, we split the money down the middle, which wasn't a lot. 3.5% off 155,000. I think it was 155 or 157,000 for this property. Property in good shape. I love the location, especially for me living here as well. I think part of the FHA, part of the stipulation as far as buying a rental property or a duplex, I had to live in this property for a year, which I have. I've been here for going on 5 years, you know what I'm saying? So it's a good property, man. It works out. Like I say, we bought it in good shape. I know pretty soon we gonna probably be spending some money on some shit, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's been working out. It's been adding value. Now somebody had asked me, have I ever leveraged any credit against the property? No, we ain't leveraged no credit against it yet. As far as using like taking the equity out, we ain't really did that. This property was just like an experiment, you know what I'm saying? Me and my homeboy always talked about this type of shit all the time. And like I say, he brought it to me. It's just something that we did. This is just this little thing of ours, but you can do, I would recommend you do it, if you can't do it by yourself. I could have did this by myself. It really wasn't that expensive. Going through a FHA, putting down 3.5%, this wasn't nothing that I really needed help on. You know what I'm saying? But this was just cool. You know what I'm saying? Something cool for starters. And when I look back, I'm glad I made this decision. I'm glad I made this decision because really I wanted all my money to go towards getting a truck. That was the first thing that I was thinking about when I jumped in the industry, was getting a truck. But I don't really regret this decision though. This been a good decision. Yeah. you know, I done made a couple mistakes since I've been in trucking, but this is one of the decisions that I made that I can pat myself on the back and say I made the right decision. So, you know, I'm all in. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? After this move, the next big move was getting my own truck, becoming an owner operator. And, you know, a lot of us, we know how they go, man. That shit is shaky. You know, when you step out on your own in this trucking, ain't nothing guaranteed. You got to deal with truck issues, the market, and all the different type of shit. Even though for me, I can say the market ain't really affected me. The biggest thing that has affected me in the past with my truck has been issues with my truck. You know what I'm saying? So kind of slowed up some of my plans a little bit, but we still sticking to the script. Ain't nothing changed. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, the next move, because at one point I didn't know if I really wanted to move hard with real estate. But looking at this shit now, I think I'm going to move hard with this shit because I'd rather be a landlord. I'd rather be a landlord instead of growing old to be still on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I talk about being in trucking, adapting to trucking, accepting trucking for what it is, that don't mean that I'm telling people that you need to be doing this shit for the rest of your life. I'm not telling people, because I didn't have people come at me acting like I'm telling people to dedicate their life to a job that ain't, you missed the point. People hear what they want to hear. I ain't never told nobody to stay dedicated to no job in trucking. What I tell people is to come into trucking with a plan and stick to that plan, whatever it may be. That's what I'm telling people. Got me twisted. I ain't coming to trucking looking for no job or to be dependent on no job. Why would I tell other people to do that? So, moving forward, I'm going hard with the real estate. You know, the next thing I've been thinking about, I'm going hard with it. I ain't even gonna play with it. All my money going towards investing in shit that's gonna make me money and build value. I'm thinking about buying the Bando in Gary. You know, for people that's familiar with Gary, Indiana, or don't know about Gary, Indiana, you know, they say Gary, Indiana is like a smaller Detroit. They compare, I've been in Detroit for a delivery one time, but I never really just went to Detroit and just kicked it like that to really see Detroit. But if they say Gary is like Detroit, then I got a good idea about, you know, what Detroit is like. So, yeah, I told my pops, he's like, why you want to buy a crib? Why you want to buy a house in Gary? You want to move to Gary? See, they don't see the vision that I got. You know what I'm saying? Gary is like a ghost town. You know, a lot of people, you know, when they want to do better in life, a lot of people in Northwest Indiana, man, a lot of people moving up out of here. A lot of people that moved up out of Gary. Gary is kind of dry. It's kind of dead. It's like a ghost town at this point. So it ain't really a whole lot going on. I mean, don't get it twisted. You know, something could still possibly happen to you. You know, you moving wrong, but Gary is the crib to me. You know, I grew up, I'm from East Chicago, Indiana, but Gary, we all right. It's all the crib, you know what I'm saying? I feel comfortable in Gary the same way I feel comfortable in the city that I grew up in. So, I'm thinking about getting a crib, buying a Bando in Gary. You know, Gary, they got a lot of Bandos. I got a homeboy that bought a Bando. I think he bought either Marshalltown or Terrytown. I think it's Marshalltown. But he got a crib. He bought a Bando. I remember when he first got it, it was like burnt toothpicks. And he bought it for like a couple $1,000s. And just, you know, through a couple years, you know, as he was working, he was investing in it little by little. And he really turned that Bando into something, man. He turned that's a nice crib. You know what I'm saying? It's a small crib. Like my duplex, I think it's like 1,700 square feet, if I'm not mistaken. His crib might be, I think his crib is smaller. His crib might be 1,200 to 1,300 square feet. It's a small crib, but for a bachelor, and the way he hooked that shit up on the inside, man, that shit is nice. He really inspired me. He really inspired me with that. So I'm thinking that's gonna be my next move. We gonna remodel the unit that I'm living in. The unit that we renting out, it's already up to date. It was up to date when we got it. The unit that I'm living in, it's a little outdated. Some things need to be updated. So before I move out, we gonna update our unit, put somebody up in here. Boom, this shit gonna be on automatic. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm thinking the next crib, because I'm done paying. I'm not finna pay nobody else's mortgage. That's part of my financial philosophy when it comes to living. I'm not paying nobody else's mortgage no more. Not that I think I've rented a couple times, but I'm not. That's just my philosophy. So with the next thing that I'm doing, thinking about getting me a bando in the G, flipping it, finding me something, you know, because Gary got a lot of nice little cool, quiet spots. You know, people that really know about Gary, you know, the west side of Gary always been considered a more nicer, you know what I'm saying, than the east side of Gary. The east side of Gary is a little bit more grimy. So somewhere, you know, when it comes to that time, I do my research. But find me a little bando, flip that bitch, stay in there, mortgage free, probably put 30, 40 grand into it. You know what I'm saying? Find me something cool, lay low. Only thing I got to worry about is property taxes. And property taxes in Gary, Indiana ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So do that. And then from the next point on, work my way up to a 4-unit apartment building. You know what I'm saying? And just keep moving on and on. And I even got I'm gonna buy property overseas too. Yeah, I definitely got my eye on buying property in Brazil. So I'm going hard. I'm going hard with my shit. I refuse to be in trucking wasting my time. All my money is going towards investing. You know, yeah, trucking and kicked my ass that last quarter. Last year, 2024, but I'm not tripping on it because as long as you stick to the script, as long as I'm sticking to the script of a greater vision, everything gonna come back around full service. So that's what's going on with me. And you know, the whole point of this video is just to make a suggestion to people, man. You know, maybe you should think about investing in shit while you in trucking. Because trucking is a tough, hard life. It's a tough game. And you know, a lot of people find themselves being in this trucking for a long time and coming up out of trucking with nothing. That's too much life, too much time to be given up. You know, even me, you know, just because I adapt to trucking, just because I speak highly on trucking and try to get people's mind right to, if you're going to be in trucking, to accept this shit and embrace this shit, that don't mean that I know that this shit is taxing. That don't mean that I know that just rolling on and trucking on automatic can take more from you than what it really gives to you if you're not careful with how you move. I'm going to come up out of trucking with something. See, trucking ain't going to make nobody rich. It's not going to get you rich. Getting rich or becoming wealthy and expanding your wealth, that's on you. What you do with the money in trucking, that's on you. Nothing is designed to make the common man or the common woman or blue-collar worker rich. It's not designed that way. It's up to us to think outside the box and create habits to help expand our wealth. So that's what I'm on. That's what I'm on. You know, excuse me, shit. Nose stuffed up. Belching this shit. But, you know, like I say, man, anytime I mention anybody else's name with this trucking, you know, any other content creator, you know, it's always going to be in a positive light. And one person who I want to highlight in a positive light that I've been watching lately is Chasing Andrew Jackson, of all people. You know, I've been watching him since I came in the industry. He one of the people who I was watching. And, you know, I don't know that guy personally. He probably don't even know I exist. But I'm proud of that dude. You know, because basically seeing him grow from a kid to a man. You know what I'm saying? When I first started watching him, I probably started watching him like a year after he came into the industry and started making content. You know, he was doing young nigga shit. You know what I mean? When he first came in. So, but I love to where he's at right now, cause I learned shit. You know, really, you know, besides him having me cracking up, I mean, that dude damn near be having me in tears sometimes, cracking up, man, or screaming, laughing. Dog, that dude is hilarious, but his content got so much game and so many jewels in it. You know what I'm saying? You know, some people, they can't get past his sense of humor, but he really be dropping jewels. He had a video recently, man, that inspired me to bust a move. This video that he made, man, it was so powerful that it made me bust a move and made me act on the new investment philosophy that I've grown to have at this point. It was a video, the title of it was something like how Mr. Bob works for Russian trucking companies or some shit like that. Something like that with the title. Mr. Bob, Russian company, something like that. And that was a real deep video. That was a heavy video. And the one part of that video, man, that really stood out to me, man, he played this clip of this guy, this older white guy named Gerald Peters. And Gerald Peters is a millionaire, you know what I mean? He got us in the real estate, got like 17 properties, real heavy in the stock market and things of that nature. And it was just a clip of Gerald Peters breaking down how to look at when you put money down for a property and how you putting your money in the equity, and just he was just giving a perspective and just breaking it down on how to look at shit. And the shit that he was saying was shit that I know, but sometimes people can say things in such a way that just hit you different in that moment. And that little clip he played of Gerald Peters, it just hit me different in that moment. And I instantly subscribed to that dude. And I've been binge watching his videos ever since. This was like a few days ago. But that first night, I was so inspired that it lit a fire under my ass to bust a move. And what move was that? I had to spare a couple $1,000s. I had like $22,000, not $22,000, but $2,200. I got a Charles Schwab brokerage account. I got a Roth IRA with them. I got a checking account with them, and I also got another brokerage account. And this checking account is not a checking account that I really be using for my day-to-day. It's just like little money that I just be having coming out my settlements going up in here. I had way more money in there before than what I had in here now, which was like $2,200. But you know, trucking started kicking my ass last year. This shit sent me to have to start digging in my personal shit. So anyway, this little account, you know what I'm saying, I had $2,200 in there. And when I started watching them Gerald Peter videos, yeah, that same night, man, I took that 22. Damn, I took that 2,200 and just threw it in the stock market. And you know, that's not a lot of money. You know, really, actually, I was really like, you know, once I get back up to 10,000 in this account, I'm gonna throw it in the stock market. Now, after watching his videos, I didn't wait, because it lit the fire and already highlighted something that I already knew that I was just procrastinating on doing. And it just made me act on my new philosophy about investing. And I just threw my money in the stock market, fam. Because one thing I realized, yeah, the overall goal is to make money and build wealth when you're investing. But what I've realized, it ain't about expecting the money to come overnight. It's really about the consistency of building the habits of investing. It's like you have to build a philosophy. You have to build habits. I think that's the most important thing, more than the money. So with that little 2,200, I just threw it in the market. I bought stocks of all shit that I'm familiar with. I didn't make it complicated. I didn't try to gamble on what somebody said invest in and throw money in and this and that. I went with what I knew. I just kept it simple. I invested in the companies that I bought stocks in the companies that they got products that I use, shit that I'm familiar with, companies that I shop with. You know, like I bought Costco, Amazon, Meta. You know, the top blue chip companies. That's what I invested in, just for starters, and I'm gonna keep building on that. Costco was the most expensive. Shit, Costco like over $1,000 a share. But because I have a philosophy now with investing, I didn't mind paying that $1,000 for that one share for Costco, because I remember Costco was cheaper than that some years ago. But I shop at Costco all the time. I shop at Costco every week. I have an executive membership with Costco. I'm in deep with Costco. Why not be invested with Costco? Why not? I'm shopping with them all the time. That's part of my philosophy. Starting out. See, I've invested before in the stock market, but took my money out. I didn't have the guts and the gall to just leave my money in there, you know, looking towards the long term. I've invested in crypto. I remember when Bitcoin was around between 10,000 and 11,000 a coin a few years ago. I put some money in there. I made a few thousand. Took that money out, tried to put some money back up in there and got cracked. That's what I get for gambling. I should have never touched that money. You know what I'm saying? So the little money that I've invested in these markets before, that was just me just gambling. I had to develop, you know what I'm saying, within myself and within my mind, you know, my own investment philosophy. It really ain't even a strategy. It's just a philosophy, but I'm comfortable with my philosophy at this point. And, you know, I appreciate that video from Chasing Andrew, man, and seeing that guy, Gerald Peters, because the way he was just breaking that shit down, I just felt that shit. And it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. We ain't even finna wait and play with it. So at this point in time, man, that's where all my money going towards, investing in every way possible. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I got everything going. I got a business, which is my truck. We know that's a little rough. You know, we got to work to get that on track. Real estate. I got some silver. I ain't got no gold yet, but I do got some silver. I got some stocks. Got an itty little bit of crypto. You know, got a couple dollars in XRP. I'm well-rounded and diversified. Now, yeah, technically, I got everything. Real estate, metals, stocks. I have a business. Technically, I'm diversified. But realistically, you know what I'm saying? Still a lot of work to be done. Still a lot to learn. And still a lot to learn. And I'm excited, man. So, yeah, shout out to Chasing Andrew, man. Because I seen somebody in this comment section one time say, hey, you know, you need to help your brothers and sisters instead of talking down on them and making fun of them. Because, you know, anybody that watch this channel, you know he be getting down hard on lease drivers. You know what I'm saying? And somebody was just saying, like, he need to help people instead of talking down on people. But I don't really see how he talking down on people, because I learned a lot from his channel. I learned a lot from his channel. His channel was what inspired me to throw my money in the market. So, yeah, shout out to him, man. Yeah, for sure. So that's all this. Hey, my suggestion is just making it do what it do, man, and making this shit count for something. Trucking is tough. Trucking will take a lot out of you. But we gotta be getting some up out of this too. And if I'm gonna be up in this, the money that I'm getting from trucking, man, this shit is gonna outlast my time in trucking. Straight up. So it's just food for thought, man. Take it as you will. Whatever. Vonnie EC, another trucker, gone.